I think Kamala Harris will probably win in a cakewalk for governor.
No!
Okay.
No! What are you doing? What are you doing?
No, I'm telling you the reality, whether you like it or not.
What are you doing?
Democratic voters in California love to obey. And so...
Oh my God. I'm going to move, Cenk. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to move.
Welcome back. Today, we're diving into a fiery moment that sparked serious debate on the Young Turks. Co-host Anna Kasparian is making headlines after a passionate, on-air reaction to speculation about Kamala Harris potentially running for California governor in 2026. Kasparian didn't mince words, voicing strong frustration with what she sees as the Democratic Party's relentless push for establishment figures, and with voters who continue to back them regardless of the outcomes. In fact, she went so far as to say she'd quit her job and move out of California if Harris launches a campaign. In this episode, we'll unpack the exchange, explore the growing friction within the Democratic Party, and consider what this might signal for the state's political future.
Some senior party officials said to be open to Kamala Harris running again in 4 years. Politico asking the question, are Democrats coconut pilled? Where are you on this future?
Well, that was Fox News anchor Bill Hemmer throwing to Lindy Lee, who's the DNC Mid-Atlantic Regional Chair. Probably not for long, because she is about to devastate Kamala Harris. Now look, Lindy Lee is a bundler for the Democratic Party. She raised a lot of money for Kamala Harris's campaign, and she feels that she was lied to about how she was performing in the polling, lied to by the Harris campaign about the likelihood of beating Donald Trump. And so she's been making the media rounds, and you can tell that she is really soured on the Democratic Party. But someone who hasn't soured on the Democratic Party is Joy Behar, yet even she has some pretty harsh words for the Democratic Party and, more importantly, the Kamala Harris campaign. Take a look.
The thing the Democrats do, that most politicians do, I think the Republicans did it back in the day with John McCain. It's like, it's your turn. Kamala's in position, it's her turn. Yeah. Joe Biden, he did not retire early enough so that there could be an open, what do they call it? Primary. Exactly, thank you. That's a simple word again. There would have been an open primary. We would have seen what was out there a little bit more. It's just as bad as what they're doing with Trump, which is this loyalty oath that everybody has to take and bow down and kiss his ring. Mm-hmm. It's not about who's the best person. It's about who do you feel is next in line to do the job with the Democrats and with the Republicans.
Obviously implying, and this would be a correct statement, that Kamala Harris was not the best person for the job or the best candidate to run against Trump. And look, finally, even Jill Biden is taking some shots.
Anna Kasparian, prominent co-host of the Young Turks, recently delivered scathing critique of the Democratic Party in response to speculation that Kamala Harris might run for California governor in 2026. Visibly frustrated, Kasparian said she would not only leave the state, but also quit her job at TYT if Harris were elected. Her pointed remarks highlight a deepening sense of disillusionment with the party's ongoing embrace of establishment figures. She called out what she views as blind loyalty among California Democrats, especially in light of Harris's mixed track record and questionable leadership. Kasparian's reaction taps into a broader debate over the Democratic Party's future and whether it's truly ready to break from the status quo.
Dramatically different. By the way, there's one thing I disagree here. I think Kamala Harris will probably win in a cakewalk for governor.
No!
Okay.
No! What are you doing? What are you doing?
No, I'm telling you the reality, whether you like it or not.
What are you doing?
Democratic voters in California love to obey. And so...
Oh my God. I'm going to move, Cenk. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to move.
I'm not saying I'm in favor of it. I'm telling you what's... Like, if the Democratic Party said, we anoint Kamala Harris, a giant percentage of Democrats in California would go, yes, we obey. We will take the loyalty oath. It doesn't matter how bad she is.
This state cannot survive another incompetent Democrat leading it.
Democrat like Kamala.
No, we just can't. Okay, anyway, so people are egging her on. Okay, apparently she's in a wait and see mode. How about you wait and see, like, your way out of public life and go do what you're supposed to do. Go work in the private sector, go do the lobbying thing, whatever it is, but do not run as governor of California.
Yeah.
Do not.
So look, here's the thing that they still won't say that is definitely true, which is that she was a disaster. She was a terrible candidate. But it's still to this day with all their little, golly gee, I wish somebody would have told us, right? But they're not saying the core thing, which is she was a talking robot and she could not answer normal questions like a human being. She had her scripts ready and she would just take the script, her talking points, and match it to any question that you asked her. It was Sarah Palin-esque. Yes, I said it, and yes, she definitely deserved it. And no, we should want no part of her for any campaign at all, okay? And I don't know what coconut pilled means. That's a thing that people made up that doesn't even make any goddamn sense. Okay, and finally on Linda Lee, the person saying, so look, she's more conservative than I am, way more, and she's more from the donor class, etc. But at the same time, we don't have to drive everybody out of the party, right? So she has different opinion on immigration, so what, right? And it turns out that it was the majority opinion in America, even though portions of it that I might not agree with. But I brought her up because she said a word that a lot of people are feeling.
Anuka, Kasparian, and Sank. Wigger didn't hold back in their sharp critique of Kamala Harris, zeroing in on what they described as her weak political track, particularly her failed 2020 presidential campaign. They argued that Harris has consistently struggled to connect with voters, often coming across as overly scripted and lacking the authenticity needed to build real trust. Drawing parallels to Sarah Palin's past media stumbles, they questioned Harris's ability to lead and her credibility with the public. Their criticism extended beyond Harris herself, calling out the Democratic Party for continuing to promote candidates who seem more aligned with party elites than with everyday Americans. Kasparian and Wigger took direct aim at California's Democratic voters and leadership, blaming the establishment for ongoing crises such as high taxes, rising crime, and worsening homelessness.
I please don't run for California. Please, I'm begging you. The Washington Post reports that as soon as she lost to Trump on November 5th, some Harris supporters seized on the idea of a gubernatorial run, including wealthy donors. God, these wealthy donors are going to be the death of me. Eager to see her take a leadership role in such a powerful post. Quote,
what leadership? She showed no leadership when she ran for president.
Leadership.
Oh, here's my positions on price gouging. Never mind. Mark Cuban and the donors say that I shouldn't have those positions, so I don't have those positions. Oh, I love the Palestinians, but I'm going to crush them.
Let me please finish this graphic, because of course, it's always the same people. The people that drove the conversation within 18 minutes of the election being called was the finance team.
Of course!
She took $1 billion that was donated to her and not only spent it on nonsense in the span of 3 months, her campaign went into debt. You want her running the budget in California? This is nuts. Okay, I mean...
Well, look, guys, there's two things. One, unfortunately, the Democratic leadership has gotten so used to being authoritarian that they think, well, of course, the dear leaders must always be promoted. And they should be around forever and ever until they're all 98 years old and we're wheeling them around, okay? So they can't stand the idea of someone new rising up and someone that would actually represent the voters. But that leads to point number two. Why stick with Kamala Harris when she was a broken robot? Why don't you go get a new and improved robot like Pete Buttigieg's corporate robot 2.0, right? And that's what they'll do at the presidential level. But why bother running her for government? Because the finance team represents the donors, and the donors don't want someone smart and independent. They want someone just like Kamala Harris, so that they can say, oh, you're an empty vessel and you'll say anything we want? Okay, yeah, perfect. Come here. We want to run California. So come on, empty vessel. Let's go. And besides which, we've trained Democratic voters to obey the donor class. So if we just tell them that you're the anointed one, they will all obey. And if anyone dares running against you, we'll just smear the hell out of them. Like oh, Katie Porter, you want to run? We'll just smear you, right?
Yeah.
Any progressive or any populist or anyone wants to run, we'll just smear them with all the money that we have. And by the way, and the media that we have, who's totally in our back pocket.
Yeah, Katie Porter would be great. Great suggestion, even though you didn't really suggest it. But, like, look, I'm sorry. Right now, the Golden State is cooked. So, like, the idea of more of the same, and I do see Kamala Harris as more of the same. Like, she's just the female version of Gavin Newsom. Disaster. Except Gavin Newsom at least can speak, right? That's the thing. Like, he's a snake and is able to be a snake because he carries himself well in these public appearances. But in terms of substance, no, we need real leadership in California. It's falling apart. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, of course. And they're not going to do that. They're always going to go to the corrupt. And if you don't get that Kamala Harris is corrupt and incompetent by now, I mean, we're just going to have those same old fights. And then we'll see you guys in the primary in 2028. And you'll have Morning Joe and The View on your side. And they'll all be screaming to obey. And we'll see who wins. We'll see who wins. But there's no way we're letting Kamala Harris run again. That's insane. Oh, she can run all she wants. She's not going to win. Okay?
Ana Kasparian and her co-hosts voiced strong concerns about what a Kamala Harris governorship could mean for California, warning it could worsen the state's ongoing issues, including rising homelessness and sky-high taxes. They argued that Harris's potential run isn't just about state leadership. It could be a strategic move toward a 2028 presidential campaign, which they see as further evidence that the Democratic Party hasn't learned from past failures. According to Kasparian and her team, the party's continued backing of establishment figures like Harris signals a troubling focus on loyalty and insider politics over meaningful change. Rather than listening to voters or responding to urgent challenges on the ground, they believe the party is doubling down on outdated strategies. In their view, this could further alienate voters and deepen the disconnect between the Democratic leadership and the people they claim to represent.